Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with Pacific Nut Producer Magazine, reporting to you here today at the Pistachio Insights Day in Visalia. I wanted to talk with Rebecca Kaser here. She's a pistachio grower, been in this business for 12 years?
Yes, sir.
And she's also in the Westlands Water District where she farms in Huron. I wanted to talk with you about water allocations and some of the challenges that we're experiencing this year. We've had some good water years, yet still we're not getting 100% allocation or even really close to. Can you tell us, what did you guys land on with Westlands this year?
So this year with Westlands, we received initial allocation of 15%, and then it slowly crept up after some storms, late February storms, slowly crept up to 30%, and then we settled on a 40% allocation. Then in June, we received another additional 10%, for a total of 50%. While the 50% is great, and we're grateful for that, the timing of these late allocations has made it exceedingly difficult for us to do any sort of crop planning, crop management, water plans. And we had already sent in our applications for our surface water well before the final 10% came in. And so we're grateful for that extra 10%, but it's just made it difficult for us to be able to do our jobs.
How do you plan with that? And if you take 50% allocation, it's like, do they expect that we're only going to get 50% of our crop as a result of it? It's like, how do you run a business that way, not knowing whether you're going to be able to produce what you need to? And investing in the tree nut industry in particular, it's not like you can take your trees out. I don't have water this year. Now, I know we have groundwater, but even that is under regulation. And so, like you said, being able to plan ahead for that, how do you, if you don't know at a certain date, right, when and how much you're going to get? So when was the announcement of the 50%? You said in June?
It was in June, and by this time, people have already either decided to plant or decided to forego planting and just cross their fingers that more water might be allocated in the fall or might not. And they're losing out on these potential revenues and the potential ability to provide food or fiber for not only California and our local communities, but the rest of the world. And it's really sad and unfortunate that we're placed in this situation, especially when we've had an average water year. And it would stand to reason that we would have at least the 65% or higher allocation for our crop needs. Last year, my farm recharged about 3,800 acre-feet of water through percolation basins, flood mars, and over-irrigation. And it was kind of scary going into this year thinking that the savings account that we had for a zero allocation year was going to need to be applied this year. And it was within reason with the water year and the storms that we received that we should have been able to not have to use our savings. So we're fortunate enough to be able to subscribe to the Supplemental Water Program in Westlands, but not every farmer is able to do that. And it might not be within their crop budget or their ability to subscribe to it. And so it is unfortunate that we made all this progress with SGMA, with groundwater recharge, and now we're having to use it.
Yeah, because we've got more dry years ahead, and using it the very next year, that's not what it was designed for. So now, Rebecca, I hear you're going to be a candidate for being on the board of the Westlands Water District, which you pointed out was the Westlands is the biggest water district west of the Mississippi, right? You think about all the water and all the farms that depend on this and the food that comes from that to feed the world. I mean, that's a big deal. So it sounds like part of the reason you're running, right, is to make a difference here and make sure that we can get announcements of allocations earlier on and get better allocations. What can you tell us about that?
I initially started attending meetings a few years ago when SGMA was voted in 2014, and ever since then I've just attended meetings and enjoyed the leadership that's been provided to us at the district. We have a new general manager, Allison Febo. She's amazing, and it was under her and the staff. They have such an amazing staff over there that I was inspired to take up candidacy this water year and subsequent years to kind of continue this forward progress that they're proposing.
Well, I respect you for, not just complaining about the situation that we're in, because it's easy to complain, but stepping up and wanting to do something about it. So thank you, Rebecca, for your efforts and being able to share with others, because I'm sure you're not the only one that's frustrated about that, the poor timing on the allocations.
Yeah, I'm in a good company, and we're a hopeful bunch, so we're just trying to impart some change, and thank you for the platform.
Well, thank you very much. Read more about these things in our publications. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.